Welcome back. Today, we are tackling a classic travel problem, Las Vegas. It's this incredible city, right? But you've only got 48 hours. The sheer amount of stuff to do can be, well, a little paralyzing. You want the perfect trip, but where do you even start, right? It's the ultimate paradox of choice. Should you do the Strip, a big show? What about escaping to the Grand Canyon? The options are just endless, and that clock is ticking. Honestly, it can suck all the fun out of planning your trip before you even get there. But don't worry, we're going to sort this all out.
Okay, so let's get into it. We came across this travel guide online that made a pretty big promise: the ultimate and perfectly planned 48-hour Vegas itinerary. Now, on paper, that sounds amazing, but as you're about to see, perfect for everyone isn't really a thing. So we're going to deconstruct this guide to build something way better, a plan that's actually perfect for you.
So first, let's just take a look at what the source suggests. I mean, it's ambitious, it's definitely exciting, and as we're about to find out, it's also kind of impossible.
I mean, at first glance, this looks like the day of a lifetime, right? You start your morning with a trip to the magnificent Grand Canyon. By the afternoon, you're somehow kayaking down the Colorado River, and then you're supposed to be back on the Strip for gondola rides, fountain shows, and a nightclub in the evening. It sounds absolutely epic, but when you actually look at the logistics, well, that's where the perfect plan kind of starts to unravel.
So here's the reality check. And the wildest part is, the guide itself gives you the numbers. The Grand Canyon tour, that can take up to 16 hours. The kayaking trip, another 6 or 7 hours. So best case scenario, you're looking at a 16-hour day. Worst case, you've packed nearly 23 hours of just 2 activities into one single day. And that's before you've even thought about that gondola ride or, sleeping.
So what does this mean? Is the article just wrong? Well, not exactly. The problem is how it's framed. It's not a minute-by-minute schedule you can actually follow. You have to think of it more like a fantastic menu of possibilities. Our job now is to take this jumbled menu and organize it into a few different, coherent plans that actually make sense.
And the source itself gives us a clue on how to do this. This quote from a local couple they featured really hits the nail on the head. There are a ton of different ways to experience Vegas. So instead of trying to make one perfect plan fit everyone, let's break down all these great ideas into 3 different travel personas. Find the one that sounds most like you, and you'll be well on your way.
First up, let's talk about the adventurer. This is for those of you who hear Las Vegas and your first thought is about that incredible, vast desert that surrounds the city. You're here for natural wonders and outdoor thrills, not just the casino floor.
So if this is you, here's the key. You have to pick your main event. Each one of these things is a pretty big time commitment. A day trip to the Grand Canyon is going to take up, well, your entire day. Same thing with kayaking to the Emerald Cave. So you've got to be realistic. Pick one major expedition for one of your days, and then maybe add a shorter hike or a horseback ride on your second day. It's all about going deep on 1 or 2 things, not trying to do it all.
Okay, next up we have persona number 2, the classic tourist. And hey, there is absolutely no shame in this. You've seen Vegas in the movies a million times, and you want that iconic, glamorous, totally over-the-top experience. This plan is all about hitting those world-famous highlights.
Now, classic Vegas really has 2 different flavors. You've got the Strip, which is exactly what you picture. Modern, glamorous, high energy with all the mega resorts. Then you've got Fremont Street. That's the historic heart of the city. It's a bit more compact, a little gritty, and just packed with that amazing vintage neon vibe. It really just depends on what you're after, the huge modern spectacle or that old school energy.
So here it is, your quintessential Vegas checklist. Now the trick isn't to just run around trying to do them all. It's about stringing a few of them together logically. For example, you could ride the high roller for some amazing sunset views, which puts you right there to watch the Bellagio fountains afterward, and then head off to a show you've booked nearby. Pro tip, that hop-on hop-off bus can be a really smart way to see spread-out spots like the Vegas sign without wasting all your time and energy just walking.
And finally, we have our third persona, the culture seeker. You're the kind of traveler who knows there has to be more to this city than meets the eye. You're on the hunt for art, for history, and for those really unique experiences that tell a deeper story.
You might actually be surprised to hear that Vegas has a pretty incredible and diverse museum scene. I mean, you can literally walk through the city's glowing electric history at the Neon Museum, or you can dive deep into its shadowy past at the Mob Museum. But it's not all history. You can go play your way through decades of arcade games at the Pinball Hall of Fame, or get lost in the amazing digital art at the Arte Museum. There is genuinely something here for just about any interest.
And for the culture seeker, it's about more than just museums.
A speakeasy bar crawl isn't just about grabbing a few drinks. It's about discovering these hidden nooks of the city's history. A food tour lets you explore the culture of a place through its flavors. Even something as touristy as a helicopter tour gives you this completely different cultural perspective on the city's wild architecture and its whole culture of spectacle.
Okay, so we've broken down that impossible itinerary into our three personas: the adventurer, the classic tourist, and the culture seeker. Now for the most important part. How do you put all this together to build your own actually perfect 48 hours?
It's really this simple, just 3 steps. First, pick your main vibe. What's the #1 reason you're in Vegas? Are you an adventurer at heart? A classic tourist? Start there and make that your focus. Step 2, mix and match. Just because you're an adventurer doesn't mean you can't see a show. Pick 1 or 2 can't-miss activities from the other lists. And finally, step 3, plan your evenings. That's when you lock in those great dinner reservations and book your tickets for shows or clubs.
And that right there, that's the real secret to a perfect 48 hours in Vegas. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do what's right for you. Forget the checklists. Forget feeling like you have to see something. The best trip is always going to be the one where you pick a few things that you know you'll truly love.
So we'll leave you at that question. What does your perfect 48 hours in Vegas look like? Are you kayaking on the Colorado River? Are you watching the Bellagio fountains? Or are you exploring the Neon Museum? Or hey, maybe it's a little bit of all three. Now you have the building blocks to decide. Thanks for watching.